Joining us now is Taylor Galvin. Taylor, why did you want to start making content online, and why specifically around plants and medicines?
Thank you so much for having me. So it all kind of started about a year ago. I've always had a presence on social media, but it was much different than it is now. And so I wanted to start social media accounts that kind of shared teachings around plants and medicine specifically, because they actually saved my life, to be perfectly honest with you. Like many of our people, I too suffered from addictions for a very, very long time. And it was ultimately the plants and the medicines and the teachings that come with them that actually got me out of that really dark place in my life. And so I started on that journey with the medicines about 4 years ago. I'm coming up on 4 years now on this red road path. And it's been incredibly beautiful. And so if it helped save my life from a very dark place of addictions, I knew that they had the power to also do that to a lot of other people. And so I wanted to share those teachings and get these teachings out there, because not everybody has access to them, right? And so social media is such a huge part of our lives now. So why not use it to our advantage, right? Why don't we get happy, joyful, educational material out there instead of, all that kind of dark stuff that we always kind of get lost in social media.
Thank you for that, Taylor. You have tens of thousands of followers across social media platforms engaging with your content. One of your videos recently surpassed 1 million views. Why do you think this subject is such a hit?
It did. Oh my God, I never would have thought that would have ever happened. And I sat there and I kind of watched it too until it actually hit that mark. But it was a really simple video. It was actually just me and my dog. We were out in the bush, and it's about taking that time of rest, because for us and our teachings as the Anishinaabe people, winter is a time of rest and it's a time of storytelling. But today we live in this world where, rest is almost considered like a weakness, right? It's always chase the hustle and chase the grind. And so I wanted to just, reassure people it's okay to rest. You don't always have to be on the go. You don't always have to be blooming and all these things. Take that time. Our spirits and our hearts and our minds, we need that rest, because we carry a lot of heaviness and we're always go, go, go. And the world that we live in now is kind of backwards, right? Especially as like a student. Now we have to go to school in the wintertime and you get more rest. And so everything's a little bit backwards. And so we kind of get wrapped up a little bit in the wintertime and forget to take care of ourselves. And so the video was just about that.
Definitely some important points there. How do you decide which teachings to share publicly, and do you check with your elders first?
Well, that's a really good question. I get a lot of people who are very much who support the work, but then there's always some folks who are like, oh, you shouldn't share this and things like that. But I'm very cautious and I'm very deliberate on how I share things and what I share. And yes, there's always guidance by elders and the knowledge keepers that we work with. But I'm also very aware that I don't know people's medical histories. Working with the Plant Nation, though a very beautiful path that it is, you also have to walk with care and caution, because not everybody has the same reaction to these medicines. And the last thing that I would ever want to live with is somebody getting hurt from using medicines that they don't properly know how to use. And so one thing you'll recognize on my videos is that I never share preparation methods, ever. I'll share different uses, but only to a certain extent, to what I believe is a little bit more of like common knowledge. So like teachings around the 4 sacred medicines, right? They teach that in schools nowadays, right? And so just bringing it to a different platform, sharing it in a different way, and just educating people on certain uses, but also remembering that this is a big part of learning this way. It's about that relationship building, and it takes time to do that.
We know you have been involved with conservation, water protection, and environmental sciences for a long time. What drew you to this area of expertise and activism?
That's also a very good question. It was the people, honestly. I started school doing anthropology, actually, and then I changed to environmental sciences. I'm now doing a Master's of Environment at the University of Manitoba that focuses on oral storytelling and the protection of sturgeon. And that project, and this is an example of how I got into all this work, that project came from the need of the communities that I've worked with up north. And it's really them that are driving that project. And it's the same with the background in water protection and activism. I got into environment because I was looking for something more in my life. And as I pursued down that path, I found a sense of purpose. I found an identity that I didn't know was there. I always had a really loud voice, but I just never had the right spaces for it until I started doing this work. And then all of a sudden, it was the people in my own community, it was the people of the communities that I work with across Manitoba who were like, you have to do this, you have to keep pushing. You are the voice of our people right now. You know, I don't have a problem challenging people in maybe in a political setting or whatever the case may be, as long as it's in the name of protecting our more than human relatives, which is the land and the water and Mother Earth and spirit and ceremony, because we need more people to do that, because that's the one thing that's been excluded for so long in policies and laws and rules and regulations. And so I wanted to make a change in that way, right? So that we can see, and our youth can see, that there's a space for them here at these tables, at these decision-making tables around land management, stewardship, conservation, around water activism. And so I just do it for them, ultimately. It has nothing to do with me, really. It's not my degree, it's not my education, it's for our people and it's for our communities to see themselves there.
Taylor, Galvin, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for speaking with us, and please come on the show again.
Yeah, Chimigwech, thank you so much for having me.